Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Breaking Views on NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. Massive fireworks in the Parliament today, and that's going to be what we will be talking today on Breaking Views. The Parliament Showdown is the big focus. But, as I said, there were fireworks in the Parliament today, ladies and gentlemen, of political nature. It was almost an hour and a half long speech with an all-out attack on the opposition. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi, speaking on vote of thanks on President's address in the Lok Sabha today, unleashed a brutal, some would say, personal attack on the Congress party and without naming the Gandhi family. Somewhere it was expected after Rahul Gandhi's full frontal attack on Prime Minister yesterday from, PM using the words like ecosystem to lost decade, referring to the UPA's rule. The Prime Minister's attack was as political as it can get. Opposition is now calling it an election campaign speech. While Rahul Gandhi says no questions he raised were answered, but make no mistake about the fact, the political discourse for 2024 has been set. The big showdown is our talking point. The political showdown in the Parliament. Who gained the upper hand is what we'll try and dissect tonight. But before we discuss this, let's listen in to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's top attacks today from his speech.
मैं धन्यवाद के साथ साथ राष्ट्रपति महोदया जी का अभिनंदन भी करना चाहता हूं। अपने विजनरी भाषण में राष्ट्रपति जी ने हम सबको और करोड़ों देशवासियों को मार्गदर्शन किया है। लेकिन मैं देख रहा था कल कुछ लोगों के भाषण के बाद पूरा इकोसिस्टम समर्थक उछल रहे थे। बड़ा शायद नींद भी अच्छी आई होगी, शायद आज उठ भी नहीं पाए होंगे। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, मुझे लगता था देश की जनता देश के चुनाव के नतीजे ऐसे लोगों को जरूर एक मंच पर लाएंगे, लेकिन वो तो हुआ नहीं। लेकिन इन लोगों ने ईडी का धन्यवाद करना चाहिए कि ईडी के कारण ये लोग एक मंच पे आए हैं। सिवाय आरोप, गाली गलौज, कुछ भी बोल दो, इसके सिवाय कुछ नहीं किया। गलत आरोप। और हाल ये चुनाव हार जाओ, ईवीएम खराब, दे दो गाली। चुनाव हार जाओ, चुनाव आयोग को गाली दे दो। क्या तरीका है? अगर कोर्ट में फैसला पक्ष में नहीं आया तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट को गाली दे दो, उसकी आलोचना कर दो। अगर भ्रष्टाचार की जांच हो रही है, अगर भ्रष्टाचार की जांच हो रही है, माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, अगर भ्रष्टाचार की जांच हो रही है तो जांच एजेंसियों को गाली दो। अगर सेना पराक्रम करे, सेना अपना शौर्य दिखाए और वो नैरेटिव देश के जन जन के अंदर एक नया विश्वास पैदा करे, तो सेना की आलोचना करो, सेना को गाली दो, सेना पर आरोप करो। कभी आर्थिक देश की प्रगति की खबरें आए, आर्थिक प्रगति की चर्चा हो, विश्व के सारे संस्थान भारत के आर्थिक गौरवगान करे, तो यहां से निकलो, आरबीआई को गाली दो, भारत के आर्थिक संस्थानों को गाली दो। 2014 से ये लगातार कोस रहे हैं, हर मौके पर कोस रहे हैं। भारत कमजोर हो रहा है, भारत की कोई सुनने को तैयार नहीं है, भारत की दुनिया में कोई वजूद नहीं रहा, न जाने क्या क्या कहा। और अब क्या कह रहे हैं? अब कह रहे हैं कि भारत इतना मजबूत हो गया है कि दूसरे देशों को दबका कर फैसले करवा रहा है। अरे पहले ये तो तय करो भाई कि भारत कमजोर हुआ है कि मजबूत हुआ है। जो अहंकार में डूबे होते हैं, जो बस सब कुछ हम ही को ज्ञान है, सब हमारा ये सही सही है, ऐसी जो सोच में जीते हैं, उनको लगता है कि मोदी को गाली दे करके ही हमारा रास्ता निकलेगा। मोदी पर झूठे अनाप शनाप कीचड़ उछाल करके ही रास्ता निकलेगा। अब 22 साल बीत गए, वो गलतफहमी पाल करके बैठे हुए हैं। मोदी पे भरोसा अखबार की सुर्खियों से पैदा नहीं हुआ है। मोदी पे ये भरोसा टीवी पर चमकते चेहरों से नहीं हुआ है। जीवन खपा दिया है, पल पल खपा दी है, देश के लोगों के लिए खपा दी है, देश के उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए खपा दी है। आपकी गालियों को, आपके आरोपों को इन कोटि कोटि भारतीयों से होकर के गुजरना पड़ेगा, जिनको दशकों तक मुसीबतें में जिंदगी जीने के लिए तुमने मजबूर किया। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, कुछ लोग अपने लिए, अपने परिवार के लिए बहुत कुछ तबाह करने पर लगे हुए हैं, अपने लिए, अपने परिवार के लिए जी रहे हैं। मोदी तो 25 करोड़ देशवासियों के परिवार का सदस्य है। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, 140 करोड़ देशवासियों के आशीर्वाद, ये मेरा सबसे बड़ा सुरक्षा कवच है।
So that was Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Yesterday, it was a long speech, a 45-minute speech by Rahul Gandhi. He grabbed the headlines, and today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Make no mistake about one thing, ladies and gentlemen, this entire showdown has become between two faces. And without even naming Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party, the Prime Minister's line of attack was very, very clear. Let's listen to what Rahul Gandhi now said after coming out of the parliament on the Prime Minister's speech.
Why was my words expunged? In fact, Prime Minister was shell-shocked. He was in shock and there was no answer. एक जवाब नहीं दिया प्रधानमंत्री जी ने। और मैंने कोई कॉम्प्लिकेटेड क्वेश्चन तो नहीं पूछा है। मैंने ये पूछा है आपके साथ कितनी बार गए हैं, वहां कितनी बार मिले हैं। इंक्वायरी की बात नहीं हुई। अगर मित्र नहीं है तो ये कहते ठीक है मैं इंक्वायरी करा देता हूँ। इंक्वायरी की बात नहीं हुई।
So that's, ladies and gentlemen, the showdown in the parliament. That is going to be our top focus this evening on Breaking Views. Prime Minister Narendra Modi answering today the allegations, or did he actually answer those allegations which were leveled against him and rather completely change the gear as far as the discourse is concerned? To discuss more as far as the larger impact of what we saw today in the parliament, the showdown in the parliament, I'm being joined by Mr. Ratan Sarda, author, and also, who's somebody who keeps a very, very close watch as far as the politics is concerned of the BJP, of the RSS. And we are also being joined by senior journalist, political commentator Neerja Chaudhary. I welcome both of you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Breaking Views. I want to start by asking you, Neerja ji, the Prime Minister's attack, it was expected. Yesterday, with what we saw Rahul Gandhi doing, most of his remarks have been, though, expunged now. But it was known that today is going to be a long, scathing attack by the Prime Minister. The opposition is calling it an election bhashan, saying that nothing has been answered. What, in all the words that the Prime Minister's use, ED, ecosystem, lost decade, what were the highlights as far as you are concerned? How does this set up the election season going ahead?
Look, I must, I was in Parliament, and I must tell you, a lot of the people, MPs from both sides, made this comment, which was very interesting. After a long time, there is Jaan in Parliament. Rahul Gandhi mounted a scathing attack on the Prime Minister and the government yesterday, and the Prime Minister retaliated, a no-holds-barred speech that he gave today, he didn't name Rahul Gandhi, he didn't name the Congress either, he referred to them, but obviously the whole attack was geared at Rahul Gandhi and countering that speech. But I also felt, there was more vibrancy in Parliament House today. Which has become a place that's got very sanitized in recent times. So that was one way I looked at it. As far as, yes, the Prime Minister did not refer to any of the charges Rahul Gandhi made about Adani. In fact, the government has distanced itself or tried to distance itself in the last days, saying the regulator will take care of it. SEBI has made a statement. The RBI has made a statement saying the health of the banks is fine, etc., etc. But in terms of the Prime Minister's counter-attack, he went back to 2004 to 2010, all the things that the UPA was culpable for, and singling out scam after scam by name. 2G, cash for vote, and so on, Colgate. And he also said that the opposition does not take heart in the country doing well. So so that is the kind of, certainly of course elections are there they have them on their radar. With the Tripura now very soon to go to the polls and other elections to follow.
So rather than, of course, a counter to what Rahul Gandhi had questioned, it was more setting off a political pitch as far as the Prime Minister goes. And Mr. Ratan Sarda, the critics are saying that, the tone, the tenor, the optics were on very Modi-like fashion. I mean, it was high on optics, Prime Minister trying to once again, play the victim card, that how he's been attacked, how he's been, in fact, they are trying to blame him, his completely unblemished career. Once again, questions are being raised and the people are going to answer for these allegations of the opposition. What do you make, sir, of the opposition saying that the Prime Minister seems to be on a back foot rather because he did not even answer a single question?
First of all, like Nija just said, the way Parliament functions is the way it should have functioned always. Unfortunately, all the sessions are specially initiated with a lot of ruckus, a lot of walkouts, a lot of suspension of the entire day, because they only create ruckus. Then when there is any answer, they walk out. So this has been stopped by the opposition. I hope they learn the lesson that if they want to let people know, they have to speak in the Parliament and also listen. You cannot walk out when the answers are being given. So the vibrancy has come because opposition seems to have learnt a little from that. It was never a sanitized atmosphere, as the Nijaji said. It was always highly noisy, unnecessarily noisy, and that I hope is learned, because even today, while others are not disturbed, Modi just continues to disturb, which didn't actually do very well. On the question of his speech, the very first thing he said, which was very striking, was that none of the opposition leader questioned the speech of the president about the issues raised by the president in her speech. So they have accepted whatever the government has said or claimed to have done, that has been accepted by the opposition. Now, if they raise issues which are beyond the speech and expect Modi ji to fall for it and give answers, Modi ji is too smart for that. And he has responded in a roundabout manner and has used sarcasm and simile in a very wonderful way where he could respond to them. And he has exposed the total negativity of the opposition when they have seen no good at all in whatever the government did in 9 years, if there is a way to look at it, their future is dark because they have to speak on facts. His remarks being expelled without any evidence shows that the speaker didn't take kindly to these kind of allegations.
Sir, but also the fact, time will tell, of course, people of the country have to decide whose future would be in dark or not. But Nirja ji, the fact that though Rahul Gandhi's remarks did get expunged, the fact that he used this entire time that he was given, in fact, to try and make an attack on the Prime Minister, drive home the point which the opposition could not even by, protesting outside the parliament. In that sense, both Mr. Rahul Gandhi and the Prime Minister have utilized the floor of the House, of the Parliament, to drive home the point that they wanted to make.
That's right. And, of course, the Adani allegations and this report, that is the burning live issue. So Rahul Gandhi certainly used the time in Parliament to mount a blistering attack point by point about the alleged manipulation of stocks and fraud. Those are very serious allegations. It's probably, in the last 9 years, it's probably the biggest challenge before this government. Because there has been a perceived proximity of Gautam Adani to the Prime Minister, and the Congress has attacked "Hum do, hamare do," that kind of a slogan over the years.
Right.
And I think this is probably a challenge even greater than when they faced demonetization or GST or any of the other issues that they had to face. But for the moment, they seem to have decided that they will distance themselves. The Prime Minister seems to have decided that that is going to be the strategy in order to contain the damage.
Right.
And certainly the Prime Minister used the floor of the House also.
Yes. But would the Congress not find it difficult? And they've seen this in past with the entire Chaukidar Chor Hai kind of image and the campaign that they ran. They've seen that it has not yielded them political results. Similarly, in this case as well, coming without possible evidence as that the reason why it has been expunged from the House, would the Congress be able to drive it to the voters?
I think will the Congress be able to drive it to the voters is one part of the story, and will they keep at it? It's been said much will depend on the manner in which the opposition takes up this issue, because of course Adani supported projects are there in the opposition states also.
Yes.
So they may also go it easy. But it much will also depend on how the opposition is able to translate this issue into something that the person on the street relates to.
Absolutely.
And identifies with it.
Mr. Sarda,
that is also a challenge.
That's right. But Mr. Sarda, does the confidence with which the Prime Minister spoke about the voters and the way he projected himself that, once again, he's on the target, he's the victim in that sense, does that confidence comes from the past that he has seen the opposition with? The issues that were raised against him did not yield those political results. Is there somewhere now worry with the current atmosphere, the way opposition is coming together, taking on the government both inside the parliament and outside, that this could be slightly different from the previous attacks which have been made on Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
First of all, why do the charges of Congress don't stick? Because its own track record in corruption is so poor that people have no faith in what Rahul Gandhi says. Ambani was made industrialist and a big success of Congress. And Anil Ambani is on record saying that we prefer Congress. Similarly, Adani made his ways during Congress Raj. Even today, as she has pointed out, Adani is in every opposition state also. So it's strange spectacle that we are talking of 1960-70 kind of economics, when Nehruvian economics said that you keep on beating the capitalists, take money also, and allow license Raj to make money for the party as well as for the capitalist people. So this strange habit of asking them for help, using license Raj to make money and still beat them with various issues is not something that people will understand of, because times have changed.
Right.
After 1991, people don't take that kind of ideology at all. Secondly, Mr. Modi's image as utterly clean person does not allow these kind of charges to stick. Rafale didn't stick. So many other issues are kept on raising, doesn't stick. And where is the consistency as far as opposition is concerned? Where is the unity? Rahul Gandhi with his self-perceived success of the Bharat Jodo Yatra
Yeah.
would not allow any other to come in competition as a prime minister candidate. Opposition had its own ambitious, candidates, and
Okay.
we have seen this hand-holding for years together. Unless
Okay.
they have common agenda, unless they agree to one leader, how will they fight Modi ji? That is a
But
question they should ask themselves.
that's something that I also want to in fact discuss in the last part of this discussion. Neerja ji, somewhere down the line, when anyone, and you or any other analyst would look back at this day in the last 2 days of this parliament, they will remember Prime Minister's speech and Rahul Gandhi's attack as well. By keeping the Prime Minister, by keeping the attack largely to the Congress, to the UPA, to the Gandhi family without naming them, somewhere the gap narrows down between the main contender of 2024. It's a very clear picture which seems now to be emerging, Rahul Gandhi versus Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while the Congress may feel that it is good for Rahul Gandhi, but it also suits the Bharatiya Janata Party. They would want this kind of a presidential election.
Yes, I think yes, it suits. So far, it suits the BJP, and Rahul's rise and legitimacy that Rahul is getting after the Bharat Jodo Yatra will make opposition unity that much more difficult. There is no doubt about that, because the Congress will want to project Rahul as their prime ministerial candidate now that he's gaining strength and
Right.
people responded to him. And the opposition, the regional parties may not like that. So I think this is going to become tricky as far as opposition unity is concerned. And for BJP, yes, if it's Rahul versus Narendra Modi, so far it suited them. Unless the mood dramatically undergoes a change in the coming months,
Yeah.
which one at the moment one doesn't see.
It doesn't seem so. Mr. Sarda, your points on this, like you were saying, they have to come and agree. But do you now feel, after the kind of speech war that we have seen in the parliament, there seems to be an emergence of the kind of battle that we are going to see in 2024, the blueprint?
I hope it works like that, but Rahul Gandhi is known for his inconsistencies, his campaigning, his appearance in the public. All these are so inconsistent with what he says and what his party says. Entire Bharat Jodo Yatra was marked by he saying something,
Right.
his lieutenant saying another thing, and their behavior in Lok Sabha or any public media. So this inconsistency between his stance, his party stance, his leaders who
Okay.
kept on creating poisonous attacks, were totally irrelevant in their press conferences, communal attacks and all
Right.
that will not allow Congress to come with a unified message, and that is where the people will have doubt on that.
Okay.
And whether his yatra was how successful, that time will tell. Many people thought it was entertaining. I thought it was good for him that he knew India better.
Okay.
But the way he has taken many issues in a very poisonous manner doesn't allow me to have that confidence in him.
But at least you would also agree that the inconsistency question has been, at least for the time being, answered by Rahul Gandhi. He has been on the scene for the last 4 months at least, continuously at it. Thank you so much, Mr. Ratan Sarda. Thank you so much, Neerja ji, for joining me on this discussion. The fact remains, ladies and gentlemen, that no matter how you look at this showdown, it certainly sets the ball rolling for 2024. It's in fact makes the pitch for 2024 very, very clear. That's all the time that I have in this edition, but I leave you today. Apart from the political tutu meme, there was also some shairana andaz in the parliament today. So take a look at how politicians express themselves using some very famous lines in the parliament today. Thank you so much. Good night.
सर आप दिलदार हैं सर, शुक्रिया। नजर नहीं है, नजारों की बात करते हैं। नजर नहीं है, नजारों की बात करते हैं। जमी पे चांद सितारों की बात करते हैं। जमी पे चांद सितारों की बात करते हैं। वो हाथ जोड़कर बस्ती को लूटते हैं। वो हाथ जोड़कर बस्ती को लूटने वाले भरी सभा में सुधारों की बात करते हैं। भरी सभा में सुधारों की बात करते हैं। बड़ा हसीन है उनकी जबान की जादू। बड़ा हसीन है उनकी जबान की जादू। लगा के आग बाहरों की बात करते हैं। लगा के आग बाहरों की बात करते हैं। मिली कमान तो अटकी नजर खजाने पर। मिली कमान तो अटकी नजर खजाने पर। ये आपके ऊपर में जो चंद दोस्त आपके बना रहे हैं उसके लिए। मिली कमान को अटकी नजर खजाने पर नदी सुखाकर किनारों की बात करते हैं, नदी सुखा के किनारों की बात करते हैं, वही गरीब बनाते हैं आम लोगों को, वही गरीब बनाते हैं आम लोगों को, वही नसीब के मारों की बात करते हैं और वही नसीब के मारों की बात करते हैं।
मेरे को भी माननीय खड़गे जी से प्रेरणा मिल गई और मेरे में भी कुछ शायद जाग गया। उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी, आईना साफ करता रहा। ये मेरा है, ये आई एम द ऑथर, डोंट बॉदर। और एक बात जो मैंने कही और ऑथेंटिकेशन के लिए क्यों कही, ये संस्कृति नहीं हो सकती कि न खाता न बही, मैं कहूं सो सही, ये नहीं हो सकता।
ये कह कहकर हम दिल को बहला रहे हैं, ये कह कह के हम दिल को बहला रहे हैं। वो अब चल चुके हैं, वो अब चल चुके हैं, वो अब आ रहे हैं। दुष्यंत कुमार ने बहुत बढ़िया बात कही और दुष्यंत कुमार ने जो कहा है बहुत फिट बैठता है। उन्होंने कहा है, तुम्हारे पांव के नीचे, तुम्हारे पांव के नीचे कोई जमीन नहीं, तुम्हारे पांव के नीचे कोई जमीन नहीं। कमाल ये है कि फिर भी तुम्हें यकीन नहीं।